today, and we are very excited with to share or have this connection with the EduWiki community, and to also share. We have a bunch of items and items on our agenda today to share with the community, and we hope that it will be a very interesting session with everyone. So, okay. Today, these are some of the items that we have, all of the items that we have on the agenda. So we'll be having a brief introduction, most of which we've done in the past 5 minutes. And then we'll have an icebreaker. We'll also unveil the EduWiki Hub Working Group members. We've had a call for application in the past few months, and we had a lot of applications. So we finally selected these working group members, and we'll be celebrating them and unveiling them on this call. Then we'll also showcase one of the Wikimedia community's affiliates that have submitted a story or several stories to the EduWiki newsletter. So we'll be spotlighting one of their projects, which they submitted in the September edition of our EduWiki newsletter. And the community is the Wikimedia MKD, and the project is Wikimedia Macedonia Edit-a-thon model. So this is also a brief tip to tell you that please submit your stories to our EduWiki newsletter. You can never tell, it might be your story or your project that will spotlight next. So, and we'll also have highlights from the EduWiki events and programs dashboard technical plan. Then we'll share our next steps and wrap up the session. So please note that we have these participation principles, and that this session is guided, this event is guided by the Wikimedia Friendly Space Policy. And we are advocating, and we really hope that it's an interactive session, but also if you have any doubts, you can ask new questions, participate actively and openly, and also be respectful to everyone on the call, and also listen with attention and respect. So, and if we have questions while the presentation is ongoing, we can drop our questions in the chat or kindly raise our hands to speak without interrupting the speaker. So now, these are the members of the EduWiki Hub board. We have, if you're wondering, the EduWiki Hub, we have board members, and these are the board members. And we also have the team that is bringing this showcase to you today, and also all of our other projects at the EduWiki Hub. This is all of us. And so for the next item on the agenda, we'll be having a short icebreaker. And to do that, I'd like to invite Rhoda James to handle the icebreaker. Thank you. Rhoda, I'm handing over the mic to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the EduWiki Knowledge Showcase. So before we jump into the fantastic presentations that we have prepared for you today, let's just engage in a little game. Okay, so today we're going to be playing a bingo game, and I have the card here with me. And the bingo card is just going to be containing things that are expected that we're going to be hearing from some of our presenters today or the host. So I will be dropping the bingo card in the chat. And anytime you see something or you hear something from the presenter that is on the bingo card, just mark it, and when you have horizontally or horizontally, you can just let us know. So I'll be putting the bingo card in the chat now, and we can see the card. And also at the end of it, we have a badge for those who get the bingo card. But before that, I'm just going to be, let me see if I can share my screen and show you the card. But if not, it's in the chat. Please let me know that you can see it. Just a thumbs up. So on the bingo card, we have one of the something that happens in every Zoom space. For example, the host says, "Welcome everyone." I think I've already said that, or maybe Barakat has said that, so that's one down. Or the host says to us, or a host or a speaker says, "You're cutting out," or someone accidentally unmutes themselves and makes some noise, or maybe a lovely pet makes an appearance on the camera. So these are some things that we might see on the meeting today. So this will be our icebreaker. So I'm going to encourage you to listen throughout the call. When you see something on the bingo card, please let us know that you have completed the bingo, and we're going to get your badge across to you. So that'll be our icebreaker for today. It's going to be going throughout the call today. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see who gets is click to buy a card. So I'll just go ahead and show you the card. Okay, so this is the card. This is the Knowledge Showcase Bingo card. Please let me know if you can see my screen. And these are some of the things we expect our speakers to say. And so far, I assume that I've already said some of them. Welcome, everyone. That's a free mark of the bingo card. So this is the card. And if you happen to get any of them, you get 4 of them diagonally or horizontally. Please let me know. You can just put bingo in the chat when you've done that. So I will stop sharing my mic now. Oh, sorry, my screen. I'll stop sharing my screen now and give the mic back to Barakat so she can continue.
Okay, that is a very, very unique and interesting icebreaker, which I believe will keep the session going, like will also keep people glued to their screen or on the lookout for when you see any of this. So when you've, as she has said during the rule, when you've completed the bingo, either vertically or horizontally, then you just shout bingo in the chats, and we have a badge for the participants that complete their bingo. So thank you for that icebreaker, Rhoda. And we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is to unveil the EduWiki Working Group members. And to do this, I'm going to invite Bukola James. But while Bukola is accepting the mic from me, let's start clapping and celebrating the working group members while she takes the mic. Bukola, I will be handing over the mic to you now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Barakat, and welcome everyone to the EduWiki Showcase. I see all the emojis, the claps, And we are super excited to unveil our working group members for the first pilot implementation of the EduWiki Hub. This journey has been a very smooth one. From when we send out a call for application and we receive about 130 responses, right? That was huge. We weren't expecting that turnout, but we are super grateful that a lot of people were interested in being part of this working group. And after so many process of review and also trying to ensure that the selected members reflects what we had proposed initially before coming up with this plan, we were able to finally get 26 representatives across the different working groups that we have. Next slide, please. Yeah, so for the first working group, the EduWiki Technical Infrastructure Working Group, we were able to receive representative from the ECAP region, but we also received representation from the Latin America region, MENA, Northwest Europe, we had from South Asia, and we have for Sub-Saharan region. And you can also see the beautiful faces of the amazing members that will be representing this region. We have Diane, we have Hector, we have Luca, we have Neta, we have Nabin, we have Hussein. So these are your representatives. And when it comes to any EduWiki technical related issue, please do well to reach out to them. They are the voices, they are the ones to help us ensure that all of your voices from all of this region are put into the program and events dashboard. And just to speak more on what the Technical Infrastructure Working Group would be doing, as part of the recommendation for this implementation, we got feedback from communities for the need to improve the program and events dashboard, right? And in order to do so, we needed to have a group. Now, this group would work together with the EduWiki Hub staff, as well as the senior and junior developers that are working to improve the program and events dashboard. More details about what the improvements or the features for what you should be looking out for would look like will be shared later on this call as well. So thank you so much. I want to see all the claps. I want to see all the emojis. Let's celebrate our representatives and let's look forward to the amazing work that they'll be doing within the Technical Infrastructure Working Group. And with this, I'll proceed to the next slide to speak more on the Outreach and Engagement Working Group. Now, outreach and engagement is something that has been a core within the EduWiki user group. Even before the EduWiki Hub, we have consistently ensured that we created spaces for where our community members can spotlight themselves. We've also tried our best to ensure that all of the amazing programs that you do within your regions are visible to the global community. And in order to advance this goal, to ensure that all regions are represented, that we get publicity for the education program that you're doing in all of this region. We have this amazing personalities from across the Northwest Europe, the Latin America, the Sub-Saharan region. We have from South Asia. We also have for the Central, for the CEE region. We also have representative for the MENA region. We have Z, Johnny, we have Bosa, who will also be sharing some amazing program that they are doing within the Wikimedia MKD today. You don't want to miss any of this, right? We also have Sadi, we have Lillian, we have Alexandra, we have Caroline. So all these amazing people would be working with us to ensure that your programs, your events, your activities that you are carrying out as it relates to wiki education program gets the visibility that they deserve. And we are also able to ensure that we cater adequately for your needs as it relates to engagement. And I'll move on to the next slide and let's see what we have here. Capacity building and volunteer support working group. Now, this group of persons would work with the EduWiki Hub staff and the board members to ensure that communities within the wiki within the EduWiki community have adequate support when it comes to capacity building, when it comes to getting new skills, and also growing the existing ones you have. We are also particular about mentorship under the capacity building and volunteer support. And as time goes on, you get to learn more about all the amazing programs that will be rolling out, and part of which is the mentor-mentee program, which we've already also gotten some amazing applicants and that will be participating in that program. Now, on my screen, we have the Northwest Europe representative, Florencia. We also have South Asia, Suyash. We have Mariana from the CEE region. We have the LAC, Bernardo. We have Ola from Mina, and Nateza Gabriela from Sub-Saharan Africa. Those are our outstanding personalities for the capacity building and volunteer support. I want to see all your emojis, the shout outs. Do well to reach out to them. And I'll move on to the last working group. Oh, yeah. So we also have the resource curation and development working group. This happens to be one of the working group with the most members. And as you can see, it reflects all regions within the Wikimedia community. I think they deserve like an amazing, extraordinary and of applause, right? Yeah, so we're able to get representative from all of the region. We have from the Northwest Europe, Sally from Wikimedia UK. We have Nebosha from Wikimedia Serbia. We have Dr. Manav representing the South Asia region. We have Salema from the MENA region. We have Tri Ashtari from ESIAP. We have Alice Woods. We also have Evelyn Mulungi and Jacqueline from Wikimedia Mexico. So these are amazing people that will be representing the resource curation and development. And let me just give you a tips or a snippet into what they will be doing. Now, part of what we would be doing as implementation is to ensure that we provide easy accessibility to Wikimedia education resources that can be adaptable and reused by community members. So we are building a repository, and I'm sure some of you would have interacted with the OER documentation that we are creating. We are also creating a starter kit, and these amazing people will be working with the EduWiki team, the EduWiki Hub staff, to ensure that the starter kit and the OER documentation aligns with the community needs and is easily accessible by everyone within the community. So this is unveiling. We'll be doing more unveiling, and we hope that you interact with all of our communications as it relates to our working group members. We look forward to an amazing journey with this amazing people. And yeah, please do well to reach out to them. If you see any of your representative, you have an idea, an initiative that you think we should be doing as part of the work that for this pilot, then please do well to reach out. Thank you so much. And I'll pass the mic back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bukola, for the unveiling, and also cheers to all of the selected working group members, and we are excited to begin this journey with you all. So the next item on the agenda is to have our first speaker to talk to us about the topic that they will be presenting. I do not want to give you hints. So, and I would like to do that, I'd like to invite Bosa Filip Filipovic, rather, I'm sorry, to spotlight and talk to us about a particular Wikimedia MKD project that they've been talking about, and also sharing several stories in the EduWiki newsletter about that project. Bosa is the Education Program Manager at Wikimedia MKD. Please let's welcome Bosa with our applauses, our cheers, and celebrate her for being here today. So Bosa, I will be passing the mic to you now. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Filipovic Bosa, as Barakat said, and I am the Education Program Manager for Wikimedia MKD. Today, I will present our Edit-a-thon model, and I will talk about how we use thematic learning to engage students, build their digital skills, and enrich Wikipedia in Macedonian language with quality content. What is Wikimedia MKD? Wikimedia MKD is our, there was a question in the chat, so it's our organization in Macedonia, in North Macedonia. Can you, yes, so the first thing that I would like to talk about is, if you can go back to the table of content, is I want to guide you through the timeline and the impact it has made, our project. And every year, our Wikimedia organization has a thematic competition, which is exclusively for high school students who are maybe or may not be part of our wiki clubs. So last year, we talked about, we had our thematic competition was with the topic of music. And this year, after finding out a certain gap in lakes and rivers in Wikipedia and Macedonian language, we decided that we were going to make our competition is going to be in that topic. So first of all, let's start. Let me start by explaining how our wiki clubs work. In North Macedonia, we have many wiki clubs, which are, some of them are organized by the cities in which they are, and some of them are organized by the schools that they are being held at. So, for example, we have 7 active wiki clubs at the moment in Macedonia. We have Wiki Club Veles, Wiki Club Štip, Wiki Club Temirhisar, and then a few wiki clubs in the capital of Skopje that are all under the umbrella of Skopje. So there are many students who participate in this wiki clubs, and they have a wiki coordinator who is usually a teacher at a high school or an elementary school, but in the higher grades, 7th, 8th grade. The first event that you can see the slide is we started our string of events. We started with the Edit-a-thon of lakes, and the topic was World Lakes, and the students needed to create new articles about any lake that we don't already have an article for in Macedonian language. It was held on August 28th of this year, and it was held with the Wiki Club of Kumanovo, where 22 new articles were written by 11 students. If we can move on to the next slide, please. Thank you. So as I already mentioned, every year we have an editing competition, which is exclusively for high school students. And this year, the time frame was from 6th to 26th of November of 2025. And the theme was rivers and lakes, as I already said. We had a number of 112 articles written with 28 students participating. Now, I would like to say that this number of articles is was a little bit bigger, but we had to cut some out because, as you've already, I'm sure that you've already went into a certain category and then went to a different category, a subcategory underneath, and then sometimes, it can take you in a very interesting direction when you go to look for a certain article, and sometimes our students kind of miss the point or the topic, let's say. And we had some articles that were about pirates, about battles that happened on certain rivers, and I understand that their interest lies in that. They had to be cut from the competition because they were off of the topic of rivers and lakes. If we can move on to the next slide, please. So in the past year, Wikimedia MKD has worked a lot with the Slovenian Center of Skopje. We also had one very interesting thing that we did in this past year was we had an organized competition. Again, it was for students, and we worked together with the Slovenian Center and with the Slovenian Embassy here in Macedonia, and it was called Meet Slovenia, where the students had to write articles about the country of Slovenia. So because we had such a fruitful and successful collaboration with the Slovenian Center, we decided to also have one more workshop where the topic of the workshop was rivers and lakes, but only in Slovenia. And although we had about 800 articles written about Slovenia, there were still some that we could use to kind of fill up that gap that I was talking about rivers and lakes. 33 articles were written, and we had this workshop with the students from a high school in Skopje. If we can move on to the next slide, please. And now the last event that in this string of events was an Edit-a-thon or a workshop with the topic of lakes in North America. It was held on November 4th with our Wiki Club Štip. And this event introduced the North American lakes and their significance to the students. And then after this short introduction, they needed to create new articles, Wikipedia articles, on a certain lake. from the North American continent. 15 students participated and 27 new articles were created in Wikipedia in Macedonian language. Next, please. Now, if we are looking at the impact that this event had created, again, I can say that the number of participants was 64 students from all over Macedonia, from all of our wiki clubs. And the number of new articles created was 195. Again, I have to mention that some of the articles were not on topic, so had to be cut. Although, if we counted them, the number would have been bigger. And thank you. I think that's everything from me.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us, Bosa, and for sharing the beautiful work that Wikimedia MKD is doing, and we are really glad to have you here. So now, if you have some questions, some comments, some feedbacks for Bosa, now is the time to ask. So I'll be in the chat. We also have team members in the chat, and you can also raise your hand to ask for the mic. And yes, we have Siyash. You can speak, Siyash.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this Edit-a-thon and the training session. And not only you, but like all of us are trying our best to onboard new users, but this is one of the challenge, like how to retain them. So I'm just curious, like whether after conducting these edit-a-thons, uh, can you tell me how many percentage of the students they retain and they are still contributing to the movement?
So I don't have the exact number. I can't really share an exact number of how many students are continuing and we have retained. But I can tell you that working with such a model of having wiki clubs and having certain teachers who are in charge of these wiki clubs helps a lot, because the teachers are incentivizing the students by, or they organize them, they tell them that on a certain day they're going to work on a certain topic, and everybody gathers, they spend some time together, they collaborate, they learn to work together. So I think that is what incentivizes them as young people who are working on Wikipedia. There's also one more interesting thing that we are doing, and I think that is also something that motivates teachers and students alike to continue working. Every year we have a Wiki Camp, where we organize a weekend, and we kind of have all of the most prolific editors are invited to spend a weekend somewhere in Macedonia, where we have like Edit-a-thon, and also they get to meet editors from different cities, and they learn. They meet each other, they spend some time with each other, and they kind of they grow their digital skills and so on. So this is something that we have found that it works as a motivation for students.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, I think that's also a very beautiful, a very innovative way to spark motivation, the Wiki Camp. So good work and great work to Wikimedia MKD. And if we have more questions, I think we still have a few minutes. If you have more questions for Bosa or comments or feedback, now is the time to share them. And you can also drop them in the chat if you are unable to speak at the moment. Thank you. So I'll just wait for a few more seconds, and if we do not get any more questions, we can move on to the next item on the agenda. And I also think that Bosa is still on this call, so you can keep your questions coming as they come, so we can respond to them. Okay, so there's a question here in the chat. Editing articles together with students about rivers and lakes in Slovenia must be a lot of fun, but I'm also curious about the references. Have you experienced difficulties finding credible references or geography topics, such as writing about rivers and lakes? Thank you. Bosa?
Yes, well, thank you for that question, Diane. Editing articles, yes, it is a lot of fun, and we do a lot of translation of articles that have already been written. So our job is basically to educate the students to check those the references that already exist and remove any that are outdated or cannot be used, or something that doesn't work for the article that they're writing, something that is unreliable, and so on. So for the moment, with students who are high school students and higher elementary, I would say the rest of the world calls them middle school students, I would say that mostly we work on translating and not so much on creating from scratch. So that kind of solves that problem, I would say. I hope I answered the question. You are satisfied.
Okay, we have Bukala's hand is raised. You can go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. That was really interesting, Bosa. My question is, I want to believe you've engaged different categories of students. I mean, like those in elementary and those in higher institution. I wonder if you would like to speak more on the differences in terms of like your experience with them. Do you, also because we have a whole lot of so many other things that can occupy or take over their time. So I was just wondering if you'd like to share more on what the experience has been like working with these different categories of participants, and what would you advise for anyone on the call who wants to take on such initiative and doesn't know how to start? What would be your advice to them? And if you can, it would also be great if you could drop your email in the chat for anyone who wants to connect with you directly. Thank you.
Yes, I will. I will. Well, the first thing that the first part of the question, if I understand that correctly, is that you're asking me the different type, different age groups and how it is working with different age groups. And I can tell you that it is like there's a vast difference, because students who are high school students, usually we get from the seniors and third and fourth year, we call them in Macedonia. So when they are working on translating and working and creating articles, with them it's very, very easy to work with, because they have a lot of content knowledge in general. So even when they read something and they translate something, when they find something that doesn't work with the sentence or with the article, they have enough content knowledge to kind of put on their thinking cap and go, oh no, this doesn't really work. And when we're working with students from middle school, let's say 7th, 8th grade, we kind of have to go much slower, and we have to kind of ask them to work on shorter articles, or maybe sometimes we begin with the smaller parts of the article, and then once they get their sea legs, we kind of continue into to upgrade their skills. And I know that at this point, kids or let's say students have so many more interesting, let's say, things to do in their life, and they're obsessed with social media and video games and everything. So I would say in our experience in Macedonia, we have a lot of if we motivate the teachers, the students stay motivated because they kind of want to keep their teachers happy, let's say. I think that makes sense. If you've ever worked in an education setting, they kind of you get what I'm saying. So basically, incentivize the teachers, and that way they will incentivize the students. And for somebody who wants to start, just find an interested teacher and start small, start with a few students, and then word of mouth is the best reference, the best advertisement that I would say worked for us. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Bosa. And I loved that closing. Word of mouth is the best advertisement. So what you're doing, whatever you're doing, if people cannot vouch for what you're doing, then you should work with it. So yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us again. So if you have more questions for Bosa, you can leave them in the chat. And she will also be dropping our email, so you can follow up with her via emails. Thank you very much. And with that, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda. And to do that, I would like to invite the second speaker of today, Jose Gonzalez, who is the EduWiki Hub Senior Developer. And Jose will be sharing with us today the EduWiki Hub Programs and Events Dashboard technical updates. So, Jose, I will be passing over the mic to you now.
Thank you, Barakat. Hello, my name is Jose Gonzalez. I'm system engineer. I'm going and making the technical. I am in the working in the technical modernization plan from the Wikimedia dashboard. Okay. The next, please. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, please.
Oh, should I go back? Sorry, I think I skipped a slide. Where is it?
Okay, it's fine. Okay, the main objective, like is develop and release the new version 2 functionalities without disrupting the current version 1 service. Okay, it's working now in this moment, the dashboard 1, but they need a new version and it won't interrupt the service. Okay, and ensure any critical fixes applied in the version 1 are immediately incorporated in the version 2 design. This plan incorporates the Git flow methodology throughout the entire process. Okay, the next, please. Okay, and we begin the phase 1 in the product backlog. And this phase focuses on research, information gathering, and organizing workflow. I think that I'm making a survey in this moment, and we are getting the information that what will need the version 2 of the Wikimedia dashboard. Okay, and like I told before, and in this phase and discovery information gateway. Okay, the main source by the GitHub uses, and the anyway EduWiki observation, technical dev analysis, usage and okay, and we can we receive this we classify this type of information. By example, the GitHub user, and the now book is a request functionality report. Okay, And we have many important tools that is the EduWiki observation, that is strategy need management, pain point integration, and technical depth analysis that nobody likes to do, but I always fix that. Obsolete and or difficult maintain code. Okay, we are user blocks themselves or abandon the application. Um, and that what we have, we resort error and correct and user story new feature, administration of workflow requirement, technical tasks or refactoring. By example of the React, the application, I don't know if any have development here, but the dashboard is made in Ruby on Rails, and the front is made with React, and that will need be updated. Will be updated too. And they're using um, okay, and user history to improve the experience. Now I was reading the comment here. The next, please. Okay, the technical infrastructure working group is responsible to gathering and prioritizing all feature requirements and reporting used based on community input, functionality, refinement, and general user experience. That we have a consolidation or requirement are transformed into user history, a role. I want the product backlog in manage the GitHub project. Allow a direct link between user story uses, code branch, and pull requests for pull transparency. Now we have the phase two that is the implementation. Okay, like I told before, in parallel development, ensuring no disruption the production platform. Okay, that I think that that's really important though. Don't have disruption the dashboard that is running in this moment. Um, And thanks to the Git flow that we hope we will have interruption because we create many branch. The main branch master is on the code is in production in this moment, okay? And development in where we I will add the new features, the new or the new um, feature and a new feature and a specific task from the product backlog. Okay, the new version have a new feature and we will add in this branch. And hot fix that emergency correction that can happen all the time. That um, anybody found a bug and we go in this branch. Okay. Okay, we'll be here in the parallel workflow. Um, like I talked before, that workflow A in product maintenance, then will be hot fixing, and workflow B development is that will be in the Scrum sprint. That will be workflow B. That will be development. Okay, like I think that I talked before about that. Next, please. Okay, that will be the deployment and validation process. Okay, the number one, deploy to staging, and development branches deploy to staging the environment. Two, a stakeholder, the three community perform user acceptance testing. The community will test of the new feature. That will be really in this part. Um, will be really important because we'll test the new functionality that we the new change in the code and submit. And the third the third is the number three is the submit pull request and for fixes validation. The community is talking that okay, it's very I like it. We will go to the validation with the code, what to branch with master, with merge with the master with the master code, and the four code review, but that's in a part technical. And other development or the main development of this project will be do a revision of the code. Um, and because that will go directly to master notes. Before go, I will be a revision, and go finally in the five part is go to production. Next, please. Okay, this is role and responsibility, and the child EEG. We will have the prioritization gather and prioritization feature requests and bugs, and review and approve the technical implementation plan and participate in UAT before production deployment. And senior developer that design and maintain the G+ architecture, lead development of prioritized feature, review code, manager, automate testing, and handle security. And the junior developer implement assigned feature and bug fixes, assist with testing, cycle fix validation, support creation and change logs and guideline. Okay, and the production manager, sprint management, that will be a sprint, organize a sprint cycle based in prioritization and developer capacity. And the coordination ensure clear communication between technical staff stakeholder and progress tracking maintain the GHub process dashboard. And the quality tester, stakeholder user acceptance testing at test the new functionality and reporting bug, usability use, and improving suggestion and structure manner. Okay, question. I read a question in the chat. Let me hear. Let me see here.
It was a question asking born from master, what it means.
But before that question, Bosa, we have a new volunteer. No, that is not.
Okay, so we have caller's hand is raised. You can speak.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jose. I just wanted to provide more context to the presentation that the technical implementation plan for updating the program and event dashboard is divided into different stages. And what Jose has presented is the various stages that this plan will go through to be actualized. And currently, in order to move forward, we are currently in the prioritization phase, and in order to know which of the features, because from previous surveys that have been carried out by the Wiki Education Foundation, which happens to manage the program and event dashboard, there have been some features that were identified but had not been improved. Now, if you have interacted with the survey, the program and events dashboard survey that has been shared a couple of days back, you would discover that we have about 14 features that we've identified to be worked on. But we can't work on all these 14 features at the same time. We need to identify at least the top priorities within that 14 features. Also, because this pilot's implementation would take 18 months. I mean, for everything EduWiki Hub related would extend from now up until January of 2027. So we want to start by identifying our priorities, and the only way we can do that is if you, community members, would help us suggest what you think would help you better track impacts for your wiki education programs across various projects. Now, Jose might not be in the best position to respond to some of your questions related to the program and events dashboard, because Jose has he has the technical expertise, right, of what to work on the program and event dashboard, but not he might not be able to respond to issues relating to the dashboard from before he joined this program. So I just wanted to share that out loud. Get the retention rates for 1-6-12. Natasha, would you like to speak more on your comments in the chats, just so that we get it right?
Yes, I am willing to. Do you hear me well?
Super.
Yes, okay. So I am Natasha, wrote director of Les 100 Pages in Geneva, which is a French project dedicated to reducing the gender gap on the Francophone Wikipedia. We use the dashboards a lot and also the new event campaign facilities. But what we would like is to be able to track the retention rate of the newcomers, because that is not done by the dashboard. You have to use another tool with a cohort that is complicated, and you can't really share the results publicly. And for us, it's very important to be able to track our impact, but we don't really need the 7-day retention rate as is currently calculated. We need to have a more global view of what is happening over the years to the newbies who join our programs. That would be very, very useful. I don't know if it's technically feasible, but that would be brilliant.
Yes, I think that's like also a very good point you raise, and it's of course would be very useful for anyone who's running programs annually, and you want to be able to track impact even after many years after you've implemented or carried out those programs. So I would take this back to the other experts that are working with Jose. However, I would really like if you could complete the survey, because we also have a section where we ask for community members to add other comments, right, of any of the features that you think would be most useful but has not been captured in the existing 14 suggestions that we have. So please do well to complete the survey. I will also take this back to Sage and Elda from the Wikimedia Brazil team. Thank you. I see.
I would like to add something. I would like to add something also, as we really use the dashboards a lot. The number of contributors for global campaigns, like we use the dashboards not only for sale events, but we have several campaigns to track what is happening in different parts of the Francophone regions, Africa, France, Belgium, Switzerland, but also we have thematic campaigns, and all that is put into a general campaign. Now, when you open the general campaign, you have a number of contributors, but it's not very accurate, because if the same contributor came to many events, then it would just add up. And we would just like to know how many people actually came to all our events, but not add up each time they come to an event. That is, if you, Bukola, come to 2 events, you'll be counted in the general campaign as 2 contributors. But in fact, we would like only to know that you came to our events and have the global number of people impacted, and to have a general list of all these people so that we can mass message them then on Wikipedia, or that makes it easier. Each time we are obliged to download the results and work out on an Excel sheet. So I think that's the second thing. And also, I don't think I'm aware of the survey, so if you can post it in the chat, that would be great.
Yes, I can share it in a minute.
Yes, thank you very much, Natasha. So the survey will be shared and you can leave more comments in the survey. But while we before we address more questions in the chat, Sayashi's hand has been up since, so I'd like to pass the mic to him.
Thank you, Barakat. Here is basically 2 suggestions. It is not only the Wikipedia Education User Board dashboard, but any of the boards across the Wiki movement. Those appearance and what you say like looks are so pathetic for especially for the young generations. Like they are so boring in nature. So because educational user group, this particular, is working especially with the youngsters, uh, or maybe a youth, I would say. So I'm just looking like, can we improve a UI and UX more better so that it can also attract to uh, the young generation. And second thing that is, I think, easily feasible, if we can put some link on the dashboard, especially where that graph being generated, so that if someone can click on that particular link, so he will be able to share it as an image to maybe various social media posts. Maybe that button can lead to share the image to maybe on Facebook, even Instagram. I don't know how, like Facebook I have done previously, but yeah, so that would be more usable, like, because students always want to showcase, like, okay, this is what they have done and what are the output and how many, let's say, if, a group of people who created bunch of articles and now they want to showcase with their friends or maybe um, in even their LinkedIn profile, like how their articles are making impact globally. So a small button can be helpful for them to share it very instantly. Yeah, that was the suggestions. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, Bukola, I was about to pass to you.
Yeah, I would say that's like a very brilliant suggestion, Siyash, especially the idea of being able to like copy the link and download the image. So I've also being like a program organizer or campaign organizer, usually what we do is just take screenshots, which I think can be very boring, and also just taking generic screenshots. Sometimes it doesn't really reflect the exact contributions that you've made as an individual participating in a campaign. So I think this is really a brilliant idea. And just as what Natasha also pointed out, all these are really great suggestions. And the only way we can get to ensure that this gets to the right audience, I mean the experts working on the dashboard, is that we are able to also drop our comments, our feedback in the survey. But all of your feedback that I've gotten on this call, I'll do well to communicate directly with Sage and Elder during a close call. And also, I think it's also good that some of the working group members are on this call to take in your feedback and ensure that we follow up accordingly. So thank you so much. Those are really great suggestions. And I see a, yeah, so concerning the UI UX, I would say that not all features would be possible to implement for this first implementation, but we'll try our possible best to ensure that we prioritize what makes or what is most needed at this time. And hopefully we can continue with this improvements in the coming years. Thank you. So there's a comment from Florencia, and she's like, hello, I'm making videos on how to use and do things on Wikipedia. And I was thinking of starting to make videos in Spanish on how to use the dashboard in a few weeks. Is it better to wait because the interface is going to change? Thank you. Okay, so in response to that, I would say because these features are going to be these improvements are going to be made, but if we are going to be making these videos right now, I would still suggest you go ahead with them because, like I said, this implementation is going to take a lot of phases. Some of the features will be improved as soon as possible, while others are going to take a whole lot of time. So in order to ensure that people who would benefit from this tutorial get access to it in Spanish, I would highly recommend that you start with the basic introduction about the dashboard and what you think would be useful for them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for your beautiful suggestions. Like Bukola has rightly said, we have noted all of your comments, all of your suggestions, and even questions. But would also like to urge you to take the survey because all of this is in the spur of the moment. So you might also remember other things after this session. So please take the survey. The deadline is 5th of December, and Rita has shared the link to the survey in the chat. And speaking of that, this is also part of our next update, which is the next item on the agenda. So I'll just hand over to Rita to cover the rest of the next updates that we have for you at the EduWiki Hub.
So thank you, everyone. Before we close today's knowledge showcase, I'd like to recap some of the key highlights and share a few important steps. So as we were talking about the survey, it's very important for the tools program and leaders. We're inviting you to participate in this survey. As also Bharat said, the participate is 5 December, the deadline. And if you can take a few moments, it will take only 5 to 7 minutes and for you to complete it. So you can be writing in English, you may answer another on a language, and your responses will be translated. The link is shared here. If you need it, you can find it, or you can contact us if you don't save it right now. We also encourage you to connect with us on LinkedIn and follow our updates, opportunities, and community highlights through the EduWiki Hub's LinkedIn page. We can also share the link in a minute also in the chat, so you can follow us more easily. And a quick reminder is that for the December newsletter, we will open the submission on the 1st of December and close it on the 15th. So you have to work a bit faster and submit the newsletters. And as well, did anyone get the bingo? I didn't see anyone in the chat, but maybe I remember to someone. I think it was a very interesting icebreaker, but we also have to include pets the next time, so somebody can get the bingo. So this is for the wrap up, and before we say bye to each other, we would also love to have a picture together for whoever feels comfortable opening their camera, so we can take a picture with all of you and commemorate this moment.
Yes, thank you very much, Rita. And we are sharing the links to all the updates that Rita has mentioned in a few seconds now, so we can all go through them and save the links and go through them after the call. So while that is going on, please let's open our cameras to have the photo session. But first, let's stop recording.